You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's going on, Fork family? I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Welcome back to another episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. Joining me, still wet out of the minting phase stage factory is.
Well, I mean, technically, if I'm coming out of a mint, I would be hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you don't mint cold like material.
Well, I mean, like,
and you usually don't drop it in water because it'll fucking.
I mean, wouldn't like a banknote be wet out of the printing?
Oh yeah, I guess
that's what I was kind of thinking of. Less of a coin.
I don't think you mint banknotes. I think you just print them.
I don't know. Why don't you say your name and then I can stop failing so tragically at this intro.
My name is Easy Peasy.
Oh my god. Okay, this is Brock Loomis.
I'm Brock Loomis.
And he says this fucking thing of like it's easy peasy, and it annoys me to no end. And I was telling him the other day, so I started playing the critically acclaimed JRPG Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. And you play this lead dude, Rex, and it's a JRPG. And so unlike other JRPGs where there's like a stat screen of like all the damage you dealt and the XP you earned and stuff, the combat's real time in this game with cooldown timers. And every single goddamn time that you finish a battle, Rex, who has this Scottish accent, is like, easy peasy, and it fucking annoys the shit out of me.
The greatest saying ever.
It's a terrible saying. Just
it's not terrible.
It's terrible, and you're terrible.
No, you're terrible.
You're terribler.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll agree with that.
That's fair. So I think it's fair to say we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. A lot of stuff been going on, and games, and entertainment, and like weird world shit that's been happening, and movies and whatnot. Like it's been pretty active and exciting week for things to talk about on the Fork in Your Ear podcast. We're gonna get right down to it and spin the ring to find out which topic we're gonna land on first. And we actually landed on life stories. So, okay. Man, I'm not sure where to begin on that one because I wasn't prepared. Wasn't prepared for that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what life story. I mean, I was saying just before the show started, my I have a little mini fridge in the room that I record in. And it's got like a giant like ice ball buildup on the back wall, which is a little annoying because like it's been a trooper of a mini fridge. I bought it for like $100 at Walmart, and like I've had it for like 5 years. So I don't know. It's not very interesting. Fucking Tell me you got something better, Brock.
My allergies are starting to kick in finally.
Allergies and freezing problems. Wow.
I mean, we had a fairly hectic week this week, so like,
Yeah, our work week was
like
stupid.
yeah, and so like I was like, we went to the store last night on our way home, and my first thing I was like, dude, we got to stop. Like,
Oh yeah.
I need a beer. I need a drink, and we were just like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So we stopped on our way home, and then I was just like, I'm not doing fuck all this weekend because my son is away visiting his grandma and his mother. So started a couple new shows on Netflix that we can get into when we talk about entertainment. But I mean, other than that, been crazy. Other than our really hectic week,
Yeah, a really, really crazy work week. We spent fucking 7 hours in the van yesterday.
Yeah,
about
I think we actually spent more.
Yeah, we spent more time driving around to fucking places and actually working. I mean, we did a lot of work too, but like, it was a lot of driving. A lot of driving.
Yes, it was.
And me and Brock are still going strong on our. I guess it's not really bad. It's more just like a gentleman's standoff agreement of trading Rick and Morty's and BoJack Horseman. I'm close to the end of season 2, I think, of BoJack, and Brock's just barely started season 2 of Rick and Morty. How have your opinions of Rick and Morty changed from week to week there?
It's changed a lot. Like it's a lot better of a show than I thought it was going to be, simply because I finally gave it the time of day, essentially. And it's really funny, and it's slightly intelligent,
slightly,
but not to the extent that so many fucking like edgelord nerd I am so smart wannabes claim it is.
Okay.
So, but it's entertaining.
Fair enough.
It's really entertaining.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm glad I was introduced to it, and I honestly though, when you said you liked it, I just imagined you going to McDonald's and like jumping up and down asking for Szechuan sauce.
I mean,
and screaming.
True story. I do have that Szechuan sauce. I actually.
Oh, you do?
I do. I legit. They charge you like fucking $4 for it.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's a commodity. It's business.
Yeah. I get it, but at the same time, I do have 2 packages of McDonald's Szechuan sauce that was made because of Rick and Morty, which is ironic because like you haven't even gotten to the like, you're like a whole fucking season away from like that Szechuan line, man. Like, so you don't even know, you don't even really get the reference, other than that it does.
No, but I just remember that story breaking, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Fair.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, it was definitely crazy.
I'm passionate about certain shows and certain things, but never in my life would I debase myself in a McDonald's in such a way for fucking Szechuan. Like, maybe some fucking fry sauce at Burger King, but not Szechuan.
Yeah.
I have some standards.
I guess I did actually have a life story thing here. It's not my life story, but I can relate to it like super just hardcore because so I saw this Reddit post on Pokemon Go about this dude who had a grandma in Utah, and basically she played Pokemon Go and she passed away, and they had that funeral and whatnot. And when he opened his Pokemon Go again, she had sent him a gift, you know, like you do in Pokemon Go. If anybody's played Pokemon Go, you send people on your friends list gifts. And it was just like a really kind of touching story of just like, you know, Pokemon Go brought him and his grandma together, and then like, you know, he finds a gift from her post-mortem, you know?
Yeah.
And that recalled, and I don't think you actually know this story, to be honest, Brock.
I do not.
But I actually have a similar post-mortem story, which I've told a couple of times before, but it just kind of called back to my mind.
I remember you you told me this story about yours.
Did I?
Yeah. You can tell it though. It's
So I
really
had this
good.
friend Mark, and he's a good friend, and he died of cancer because he had like multiple forms of cancer. It sucked. And he chose to pull his own plug because like he lived through like one cancer and then he had like two more, and he was just like, that's, that's fucked. I'm out. Literally.
Yeah.
But it was really sad. But one of our things was he was a big PC gamer. Like he was a big gamer in general, but he shipped PC. And we both love Valve, and we particularly love the Portal series. And Portal 2 had a map maker feature on the PC. And we were always making maps to try to one up each other and like fuck each other over. And like I don't play PC often, but I had fired up Portal 2 about a year and a half after his passing. And there was a map that he had sent me really strangely like a few weeks before he passed. And I was just like, oh my god, I guess I have to play this now. It was a really fucking brutal map that no matter which way you sliced it, like you'd get towards the end exit and then the map would like fuck you over and you'd fall down to a hole and like die of spikes or die of this or die of that or whatever, which is kind of our thing, you know? And there was a way that you can like basically leave like creators can leave messages for the players if they beat the map. And basically I beat the map and he had like this message to me, which, he wrote when he was live, but I saw it when it, posthumously. And it was just like, haha, I got the last laugh. And I was like, you sure did, buddy. You sure did. But I don't know. I just saw this on Reddit and I was like, man, lead to that hardcore kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I got on that. The only other thing I could say is, like me and Brock said, we had a really long driving day yesterday. And we were swapping like a bunch of like life stories just with each other that like we'd never heard of. And it kind of like called my attention to like, like I've known this man here, Brock, like basically my entire life. I've known
2 decades or almost.
Yeah, which is a really long time to know anybody, really.
Yeah.
Marriage, friends,
death,
whatever. And it just called to attention that even though like sometimes me and Brock have been apart doing our own things in lives for like years and stuff at a time, like we catch up and it's just still it's still really good, and like I don't know, it's just interesting because like I was telling him about a bunch of stories that like he hadn't heard about necessarily. Like I'm not necessarily gonna get into those again, but it's just interesting. Like and like I just say to all like our Fork family members, like I encourage you all to keep communicating to the friends that you have, and even if you haven't talked to them in a long time, swap stories, and it's like never too late to catch up. Never too late to catch up. Basically.
No, it's not.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to spin the ring because I think we got more stuff to talk about on all the other topics this week at any rate.
Yeah.
So here we go. All right. We have landed on... landed on technology. Okay, so there's a couple things on technology.
Oh, did you hear that Samsung has a new flip phone?
Like, is this a joke?
Yeah, it's a joke. You brought it up
fold
like
phone?
4 times
You
now.
fuck?
Yeah, the fold phone.
Okay, fair enough. Oh man, terrible. So the FDA has lifted an import ban on genetically modified salmon. And it had actually been banned previously because it had been called frankenfish. Because whereas like genetic modifications to like chickens and stuff is relatively safe for human consumption, I guess there was something really fucked up about the genetically modified salmon.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how?
Well, okay, I'm looking at the article now. But basically, it's called an Aqua Advantage salmon, and it's genetically engineered to grow year round, and thus reach the market twice as fast as unmodified salmon. In 2015, following a lengthy years-long review, Congress passed a law in 2016 mandating the formation of labeling guidelines informing customers that the fish was genetically modified. And
But like, how did
I'm reading.
Okay, well, maybe you should read it before.
I did earlier in the week.
Jesus.
I know it's terrible. Well, what are your thoughts, just in general, on eating genetically modified salmon?
I mean, so genetic modification has been around for thousands of years. We genetically modified dogs to be ugly ass little fucking pugs. It's called eugenics. It's nothing fucking new. We do it to chickens, turkeys. Like we've done it to every single domesticated animal on the planet. Unless there is a direct link to like this genetically modified salmon like unravels humans' DNA and then you fucking turn into a goop. I fucking don't care.
Fair.
I will go to Costco and buy 1,000-pound bag of genetically modified salmon for $10 when I'm broke and poor but need still good sustenance. If I want to go get fresh, wild caught salmon, I will go to the fucking ocean and catch it myself, or I'll go down to the docks. Like I actually love going down to the docks, like down in Westport, and and getting fresh fish and stuff like that. So unless there is some serious implications of this genetically modified fish, I don't have a problem with it.
So in reading the full article, it's actually more of a surprising article because it's actually in the positive. So apparently it's the only genetically modified food that is officially cleared by our FDA.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of like, well, all the chickens and the other shit that we were just talking about. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking out of my ass here. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently. I just thought it was interesting because, as the world's population grows and stuff, and if you ever read sci-fi, a lot of times the problem is a food supply issue,
Yeah, or land to grow said food.
Yeah, or land, or humane ways. That's why a lot of there's I was talking, I think in December on this show about how there's the lab grown meat is going to be a big thing by the end of the year. Because that, I guess, it tastes just fine, and there's like nothing wrong with it because it's basically being grown from itself, and the proteins needed to just grow the meat portion.
Yeah, I mean, again, the whole lab-grown meat. People are always going to pay extra for the real thing, and I think it's completely fair that people are looking for alternative ways to enhance or modify foods to make it more productive, easier to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And lab-grown meat, I think that's great. Like, fuck, how many thousands of acres and waste materials are produced from just animal farms alone?
I don't know, probably like a lot.
Like, technical term?
Yeah, technical term. Stiff.
So that's really cool that the salmon is fully approved, and I don't see why people wouldn't want a healthier, cheaper, less environmentally impacting product.
Sure.
Than some modified salmon.
Yeah.
personally.
So moving on to something that I can at least somewhat talk about intelligently. So Apple has advanced the Face ID algorithm that's used in iPhones 10 and 10s. I guess it's on iPad Pro now too. Basically, using machine learning algorithms, it can sense or at least try to predict accurately subepidermal imaging. And that's a fucking big ass word, so you might be wondering, what the fuck is that? Basically, subepidermal imaging is a scan or an attempt to scan to see where your blood vessels and blood veins are in your face. And you might be wondering, why the fuck is that important on a phone that I'm using my face to unlock my phone for? So this does a couple of things. One, basically it means that in the case of people who have identical twins, you can't spoof the phone. So the way Face ID works is it throws out like 30,000 infrared dots onto your face, and then it has basically like a different non-visible to the human eye light that then reflects off of those dots that are projected onto your face, and it creates a 3D map. And so your Face ID is dependent on like your actual like 3 dimensions of your face. So basically a depth map, you know. And so basically what this subthermal imaging does, because the infrared dots are infrared, so therefore you're able to see basically the gist of a heat map, using machine learning over a series of scans. They've developed basically software that can basically kind of guesstimate where your blood vessels are based on the differences and changes in temperature, because thermal mapping. And so basically what this means is, much like how we had thumbprint ID or Touch ID on a variety of phones, you know, Samsung included, and how that reads like the basically the pattern of your skin on your thumb. Basically, there's a blood vein pattern on your face. And if you're an identical twin, you actually have a different blood vein pattern, despite the fact that you actually, you know, look really fucking similar. So basically, this is a way that further secures your phone, and it's another step without any extra technology, using the existing technology to make your phone unlocking more secure. And I think it's actually really fucking cool that, you know, somebody fucking thought of this really random, clever way to use existing technology to improve something that millions and millions of people have in their hands. So.
Okay, so my 2 cents on this, and I told you about it when you mentioned it to me. I don't think this was created for identical twins.
Okay.
When the facial unlock came out on the iPhones, they had a huge problem in China, where people, like 4 out of 5 people, Chinese people, could unlock each other's phones simply just because of their facial features. I think this is Apple's polite way of saying, hey, we fixed this really racist phone application. But twins, because, you know, there's so many twins out there, and statistically identical twins they're astronomical.
Okay.
And I think, you know, I don't know what the current population of China is, but I remember it being a really big issue.
It's a lot. It's an official figure, a lot.
Yeah. I remember it being a fairly big issue in the early days of the facial recognition. And this is just another way to secure your iPhone, because I know getting your phone hacked, stolen, stuff like that is quite a big deal in countries like China, Japan, and Thailand, where people basically run, the population, and people basically run the entirety of their lives out of their phones. So I think this is Apple's very nice, polite way of saying, hey, we fixed this issue where we fucked up. Sorry, guys. Now, that's just my personal opinion, whether it's true or not,
Sure.
But I think it's also really cool. I think it's great. It helps secure basically a hard drive of personal information that you carry around in your pocket that, it's still pretty accessible to people. You can still get into somebody's phone with an access code.
Yeah.
Or, if is Touch ID still a thing on iPhones or any other phones?
I think they have them on the non-10 phones, like the iPhone 8, which was before the 10, is still around, and they've got Touch ID on that. And then like the non-Pro iPads have Touch ID.
Okay.
So they still have Touch ID.
So yeah, it's just one more thing that keeps people out, the people you want out of your phone.
Fair.
And personal data.
Fair.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Did you have anything for technology?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Not anything for technology.
Well, you should have.
I mean, I can start reading Science Today again. I used to love that kind of stuff.
Well, then you should get on it.
Yeah.
All right, spin in the ring. All right. Here we go. Entertainment. We got a lot of shit to talk about in entertainment.
Oh yeah, tons.
I think that the most breaking thing is Disney has rehired James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Despite firing him,
that.
Gosh, it was a while ago, wasn't it? Like last summer, because they were going to film in October, weren't they?
It was almost a year ago.
Yeah,
it was. It's been quite a journey, because honestly, I figured with the way Dave Bautista was talking, he's like, yeah, fuck this bullshit. Like, James Gunn gave me my chance when nobody else would, so he was kind of sticking by him pretty tough.
Yeah,
saying,
I mean,
I won't do Guardians.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong,
you can't fault him.
Disney could hire and fire a dozen Dave Bautistas and probably clone it.
Yeah,
and not even give two shits about it. But I think that was really cool of him.
I agree. So for those who don't know, James Gunn's the director and one of the several primary creative forces behind the Guardians of the Galaxy movie franchise. And he was fired from Disney last summer because some fucking, honestly, really aggro news site was basically looking back into his old tweets from a decade ago, and he made a bunch of child rape jokes, basically. And Disney president caught wind of this and was like, "You're fired. Get out." And that caused a huge uproar. And I said at the time, yeah, those tweets were hella offensive and they're totally in poor taste and not something you should be saying on Twitter of all places. But my comment on that was, I've been doing podcasting for over a decade, and I'm sure I've said some really stupid shit that, today, 2019 Tim would be like, I don't think so, homie. That was terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. So on the one hand, I don't condone the joking. On the other hand, the firing was pretty extreme for something that happened a decade ago, and it's not like he made a joke, and it was a really bad joke, but it's not for example, take director Bryan Singer, who's a really good director. I think he's a good director, did a lot of the X-Men movies amongst other things, and he's been accused of child pornography and child rape fucking 6 times now over the course of the last 20 years. That's a lot of times, and
he's beat it every time.
And he's beat it every time because he's obviously not he's been officially, by judge and jury and investigatives and all that sort of stuff, found that that's not the case, which is great. But, you know, like, he's never been kicked off of a movie, like, at least, at the very least, a high profile movie like that. At least not to my knowledge, you know? Um, so for the fans, I think it's a very good thing for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Means it'll have the same, uh, I guess, the same style, and we don't have to have another director basically going off of James Gunn's script, because they had said for a while that they were still going to use James Gunn's script. And like, yeah, like a lot of big directors turned down Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because they thought it was going to be really awkward stepping in after that whole thing. So the more complicated thing of it is he's still contracted with DC. So
Yeah.
after he finishes Suicide Squad 2, which he's writing and directing, he will direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that's interesting because it's not too often we have, especially in Hollywood, we have Marvel directors fired, go DC, but then also are welcomed back, and then like they get to continue and stuff. You know, like that's very interesting. You know, like I saw a Reddit post of the actor. I'm gonna fucking butcher his name. Digimon Hishnun guy, the black dude who's gonna be Shazam wizard in Shazam, and he was in Aquaman, and he was in Captain Marvel, and he was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. You know, you don't have too many crossovers with like same talent. You know, there's some rare exceptions to that, I think. So anyways, it's good news. Good news for fans. And I guess Disney buried the hatchet. So it goes. I assume you're excited to have James Gunn back for Guardians 3.
I totally am. I think the way that Disney did him was fucking hella dirty and really knee jerky. Like you said, terrible taste, but you know, if I got fired from every job where I fucking,
Said stuff
something
from
outside
5
of my
years ago.
yeah, 5 years ago, 6 months ago, like, I mean, it to me it seemed like just a really shitty person who wanted to make somebody else's day shitty.
I mean, it was dug up.
And
I mean, you'd have to
yeah,
go
from a decade
you'd have to go
ago.
really far back, like grudge match.
Yeah, and I think that sets a really shitty, terrible precedent that, you are not the same person you were 10 years ago or 5 years ago even.
Yeah.
And like to pull that kind of bullshit out is like that person should be like just fucking dragged and flogged through the streets. Like that, like it's really fucking terrible, especially when you put it in context of like children actually do get raped.
Yeah, it's true.
People like they're like, in that context, you were just a shitty piece of shit who is like taking somebody's words out of context and putting it in the context of him actually doing it, or even saying that he thinks it's okay to be done. Like that's almost as bad as like the act of like of raping children, or like just that whole like idea. Like it's just so terrible to even think that that's okay. I think the person was wrong to do it in that sense and just like put it on blast through social media instead of like, why didn't they just fucking go to fucking Disney or James Gunn and be like, hey man, you said some pretty fucked up shit a few years ago. You mind like elaborating or like giving us your opinion as a, as a person? Like,
Sure.
so Yeah, fuck that person who did that, who spent the time digging through decade of tweets just to put something out there like that.
Fair enough. You'll probably be excited by this. So Netflix has announced a ton of brand new original animes. So
Yep.
we're getting a anime of Altered Carbon called Altered Carbon Resleeved, which I'm personally excited about
Okay.
because Altered Carbon's dope, and if you haven't seen it yet, Proc, you fucking need to. Have you not seen
I'll
that?
probably do that this week. I've not seen it. I tried watching it. Was it the last time I didn't have my son, but I decided watching cartoons and getting drunk sounded way more fun than like investing in a legit
It
show.
is a super legit show though, but like you'd fucking love it, dude. Like you
Oh, I'm sure I
you gotta
would.
dig into
Every
it.
time I scroll by it and like the trailer pops up to play, I'm like, man, I really gotta fucking watch this.
Super dope. So the video game Dragon's Dogma is getting an original anime on Netflix, which I thought was rather interesting.
I mean, that's a name I haven't heard in forever.
Yeah, despite the fact they've had like 3 Dogma games now, I think. Started on the PS3, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I think I played that with you on the
Yeah, you
PS3,
might have.
or maybe I might have played it with my brother. But
Dragon's
either way,
Dogma is
yeah,
an odd fucking Japanese game. It's like medieval, but it's kind of JRPG, but it's trying to be Western. Like it's like
yeah,
one of those kind of things.
yeah. It's definitely an oddity. I remember it being fun though.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty good. I also remember it being like kind of janky and like crashy. Like it didn't run very well. Kind of remember
Yeah.
that, but so it goes. We're getting a new Ghost in the Shell anime, oddly titled SAC underscore 2045. I don't know. Ghost in the Shell reasons probably.
Yeah.
Something called Spriggan with 2 G's. Super Crooks, which is actually based off of a Mark Millar comic, and then something called Vampire in the Garden. And all of those are set to come within the next year.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, so Netflix is investing in original anime. Pretty interesting there.
I think that's good.
Yeah, because you watch it like a
Well,
fuck ton on
on Hulu.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you watch like a fuck ton of
Yeah.
anime and stuff. Like you watch shit on Netflix and whatnot, like just in general, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I watch it kind of wherever I can find it, and I sometimes rewatch. So, I think, like you said, it is smart, especially with that ginormous deal that Hulu struck with Funimation.
Yeah, and now that Hulu's basically
Um,
owned by Disney now.
yeah, so it's a really smart play.
Yeah, for them to be making their own stuff. I mean, and
Yeah,
that
and
kind of seems like the general play for everybody though. Amazon's doubling down on original content even though it's like licensed content like fucking Lord of the Rings and Jack Ryan
Mandalore,
and no,
Star Wars, Mandalore.
no, I said Amazon, dude. Man,
I thought Amazon was making Mandalore.
no. Do you think fucking Disney would let a fucking Star Wars show be on Amazon Prime?
I mean, they'd let fucking all those Marvel shows be.
Yeah, but that was
So,
before that they announced their plans to launch their own fucking Doomsday Network.
yeah, exactly.
So, those things. Yeah, but people are doubling down on original content. Speaking of that, Apple announced that they have a new press conference coming on March 25th and had the subtitle with like a little spotlight said it's showtime. And it actually leaked from Rotten Tomatoes of all news sources that Apple is launching their streaming service as well. And they have 22 shows ready to go, which is
wow.
like, I mean, they've been working on it. Like everybody's been kind of hearing about this, that they've been courting people in Hollywood for like 5 years now. And it looks like they've got they got a lot of shit going on. And some of it really cool, actually. I won't go into full specifics necessarily. I mean, unless you want me to. Like,
I mean, give us the dirty
okay,
details,
so dirty
like the quick gist.
details. So, Showtime. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. Um, let's see, where was it? All right, Mac Rumors, very reliable source. What to expect? Come on, where's the list of their shows? No, I don't need gory details like that. It is. No, it was getting into like, oh, this network executive left here to do this, and I was like, I just want the list of the shows, please. Thank you. Rotten Tomatoes. Fucking vamp for a minute, goddammit. I'm trying to find this shit.
Okay, I mean, so like you said, more and more like colossuses like Amazon and Disney are going to be starting big pushes for original content, which they should have been doing years ago. In a bigger sense, I know Hulu has had some pretty good successes with their original content, like The Runaways, Handmaiden's Tale, a couple others. What was it? The Awesomes, which was one of their first animated originals, which was pretty fucking hilarious, and I was a little bit disappointed that they canceled it. But they're definitely stepping up their game. I mean, I really enjoyed Netflix's Godzilla.
You
That
know,
was a
you're
really
not the first
interesting
person
take.
I've heard say that.
It,
I've
it
heard
was
some
a
other
really
people say
nice.
that too.
It was a really awesome, fresh take on the Godzilla storyline, and it just felt good. Like
Didn't they have like multiple movies of it?
there's 3 seasons, I think, or 3 episodes. I don't know what they call them. But yeah, they call them seasons, I think, and there's 3 of them, and they almost released season 1 and 2 back to back. But Netflix also released a really, really funny anime called Agrisuko, I think. I don't know how it's pronounced. And it's basically this red panda who works an office job. Whenever she's getting stressed out, she goes to the bathroom and has like an unplugged mic that she screams death metal to and sings songs.
Jesus.
It's really, really
That's
funny.
terrible. Okay.
He would like it.
Okay, we'll see. All right, so here.
Jess would really like it too.
Jess would love anything with death metal. That's just a fact. That is just a fact.
Yeah, but it's like a cute little red panda doing it. It's not like.
Yeah, you're not the first person who told me that either. Okay, so here's what's going on, or at least what people have been able to gather. So here's the list of shows. Some of them don't have titles, so bear with me here. So Brie Larson is doing a CIA biography series. Brie Larson, who's starring right now as Captain Marvel, apparently based on the real life experiences of CIA undercover operatives Marilis Fox, who has a novel coming out called The Life Undercover Coming of Age Inside the CIA, which is coming out in October 2019. They've already made a TV series about it, apparently. So that could be interesting. There's a untitled sci-fi series from Simon Kingberg, who's a famous Hollywood screenwriter, as well as making his directorial debut as this next X-Men Dark Phoenix film. And it's all we know is that it's in production and it has a quote large budget. So something like that.
That's interesting.
They've got a film as well coming out called On the Rock, which sees director Sofia Coppola and Bill Murray teaming up again for their first time since Lost in Translation. And it follows a young mother who reconnects with her larger-than-life Playboy father on an adventure through New York. And it's apparently going to have Rashida Jones is the young mother.
That sounds like a really played out storyline.
Yeah, but it's Bill Murray, so it's probably gonna be fucking funny.
I don't know if it'll be funny, but it'll probably be really good.
So they have a Charlie Brown and Snoopy and the Peanuts gang. It's gonna be a TV show, a CGI TV show teaching kids about science. Show called
Why? They have the Magic School Bus for that already on Netflix.
Yeah, but Peanuts and science. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the fucking
Fuck
things
Peanuts.
are. My glory was I Had Such Friends, which sees J.J. Abrams and Jennifer Garner teaming up again since the first time since Alias. And apparently it's based on a memoir about a woman awaiting heart surgery and her friends who supported her until she got her heart transplanted. So
and then they left her and abandoned her. Did they just leave her and abandon her?
I don't know. I just that's all that was written there.
We'll be there for you. Oh, you have your heart. Fuck you. I'm out.
So they have a morning show, which is going to have Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, and Steve Carell happening. So
that actually sounds kind of interesting.
It would, except I fucking hate Reese Witherspoon. Really? Yeah, I fucking hate her so much.
I don't.
And here's the reason, or here's the thing. I have no reason why I hate her. I just look at her or see her acting, and I just get that this thing inside of me, and it's just I fucking hate that person.
Ah, so you're sexist.
No, wow. you fucking asshole. Wow.
See, people? Shitty to do that to other people.
Exactly. I'm sexist from 10 years ago.
Right?
Fucking ridiculous. Something called Defending Jacob, which is based off of a best-selling legal thriller. And it's going to star Chris Evans, actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's, I don't know, a legal drama, I guess. There's going to be a... That's confusing. Apparently, there's going to be a TV series based off of a magazine article called Losing Earth, the Decade We Almost Stopped Climate Change. There's going to be a TV series about that. That's all we know.
It sounds like a really dumb statement in general.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm just reading the list, man.
Oh, I'm not saying the show will be bad or good or the show's stupid. I just the whole, just that singular statement.
Making a TV show off of a 3,000 word article.
Yeah,
it's odd.
I want to look up the article just to be
sure. I don't know. Maybe it'll be some sort of hypothetical. I don't know. This is all the data I got, folks. Another documentary called The Elephant Queen, where this team embedded themselves for 4 years following one family of elephants around Africa.
Okay, I would definitely watch that. That sounds fun.
That actually does sound pretty legit. Oh, and it's going to be narrated by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who was in 12 Years a Slave, Doctor Strange, and the villain in Serenity. Dude's dope.
He's awesome.
Super good.
Great.
A cartoon by an Irish animation studio called Wolfwalkers, about a young hunter who comes to Ireland with her father to wipe out the last pack of evil wolves, but instead befriends a wild native girl who runs with them. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. It's some kind of Princess Mononoke shit right there.
Yeah, maybe. Or it'll be savagely funny if it's from Irish people.
Yeah.
Then we've got a Charlie Day and Rob McElhenney comedy series. Those are two of the stars and creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They're doing a new half-hour scripted comedy series that is set in a video game development studio.
Sorry, I can't search the web on Apple Watch.
Jesus Christ, Siri.
You tell her to shut her
up.
Whore mouth.
Whore mouth, Siri.
See, you know what that reminds me of is Grandma's Boy. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
But check this out. There's a wrinkle. The series is being produced by Apple and Ubisoft.
Oh God.
So it's probably going to be set in an Ubisoft studio,
Yeah.
but it's going to be like a savage comedy, obviously, because that's what they do. I don't know.
Yeah,
That sounds
but it's
cool, though.
Ubi.
Well, why not?
I-
Ubisoft has like bazillion studios around the world.
That's
Think
true.
about the potential for like globe-trotting, like, antics, I guess.
Ne'er-do-well game developers.
Exactly. Sounds fantastic.
I like the idea.
Something called Pachinko, which follows 4 generations of Korean immigrant families from Korea to Japan to America. Doesn't say whether it's a drama or a movie or a miniseries. Doesn't say anything.
Isn't like Pachinko like a really popular kind of gambling game in Japan and China?
Do you know what Pachinko is, dude?
No, not really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big gambler, man.
So Pachinko basically. So imagine pinball, but without flippers, and you basically launch a coin it's basically like a vertical board with a bunch of pins in it, and then the coin has to bounce and hit like number of pins to like get different points or like score different things, and you like aim the coin and you launch it towards the top, and then it just falls down on gravity, and then based on where it goes, which is pretty random, like that's how you gamble on it.
Okay.
So that's Pachinko.
I mean, yeah, okay, so I was not wrong.
No, but I'm just surprised you didn't know Pachinko.
Excuse me. Sorry. I've like I don't know. I just not a big gambler, and I don't think there are a lot of Pachinko games here in the States.
No, they're not in the States, no. But there certainly are in Japan and I guess Korea. So anyway, some sort of show, movie, series on that. That's happening. So Terry Gilliam's time-traveling adventure comedy Time Bandits is being turned into a TV series, coming from director and comedy mind Takia Waria, who did Thor Ragnarok and What We Do in the Shadows. And I guess there was a movie like that had John Cleese in it, like a hell of a long time ago. And it's basically about this kid who gets caught up in a troop of thieves as they hop across history to steal treasure. And they're on the run from a, quote, supreme being who they've stolen, like, a magical time map from.
Is that Baron von Manchester?
What, the supreme being?
No, the movie.
No, the movie's called Time Bandits.
Oh, there's another movie, or there's a movie kind of like that. And I think Robin Williams is actually in it. He's the King of the Moon.
Makes sense.
And it's from the mid-70s. Really awesome movie. And wait. Isn't Time Bandits the one where Sean Connery is Jesus?
It might be.
Oh man, yeah. I was like, if I ever believed in God, Sean Connery would definitely be Jesus.
It only makes sense.
Totally. And you know what? He still looked old. Like he looked old, but he's just like, oh, I'm Jesus, or however he talks.
That's terrible. That's literally so bad. Another series coming called C, spelled S-E-E. And it's a futuristic drama. Nothing's known other than it's being written by Stephen Knight, who did Peaky Blinders and Dirty Pretty Things, and it's being directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed the Hunger Games series.
You ever watch Peaky Blinders?
I tried. I really tried. I couldn't.
You're a terrible person.
Couldn't get over. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Cillian Murphy. He's dope. As is Sam Neill. I couldn't get over the fact that it was basically just a period piece fucking Sopranos.
Except for The Sopranos suck and fucking Peaky Blinders is
It's
awesome.
literally beat for beat The Sopranos.
No,
it's
not.
literally, I could not. I was like, this is Sopranos. Let me guess, there's going to be a cop investigating him. Oh, surprise, surprise. Oh, yeah, he buries his body in the first fucking scene. Oh, surprise, surprise. Oh, yeah,
See,
he's
and I
trying
couldn't get into The
he's trying to
Sopranos.
go up the ranks of his boss who he hates. Oh, surprise, surprise. It's the fucking Sopranos. I'm sorry.
See, and I didn't like The Sopranos.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, especially the first season has not aged well because it was fucking done in the fucking late 90s.
Yeah,
which is
99.
crazy to think about. Yeah. Anyways, something called Calls. And it's basically each episode consists of a playback of an audio recording, wait, no, I'm reading this wrong. So it's 10 episodes, and I guess it's something that already they did in French. They're doing an American version. And each episode starts with a playback of an audio recording of some kind from an airplane black box, a voicemail, a 911 call, and they depict some sort of tragedy that all tie together into some sort of impending apocalypse by the end of the show. Okay.
That sounds really not boring, but like sounds like one of those shows you really got to invest into to like get any kind of payout from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got a really slow burn.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, so did Lost back in the day.
I don't know. I mean, Lost had a lot of intrigue in it.
Sure.
But like just hearing audio and like some kind of somewhat intertwined events just seems really like, it doesn't sound terrible. It just seems like it's going to be a really slow burn that you're going to have to invest into.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got something called Sesame Workshop, which is not the same as Sesame Street, but it's a new program from the same studio. So, something with puppets, I would guess. Probably building things.
Yeah, I mean, that could be interesting.
I guess Apple has some sort of deal with Oprah, and she's making a couple of shows for Apple. No other details. There's a series based on a real life preteen journalist called Hild Lasayek, who moves from Brooklyn to a lakeside town where she gets involved in uncovering a cold case that the community has concealed.
It's real life.
I guess she solves it because it's based off of a real life story. That could be cool.
That could be real interesting. Yeah.
Something called Shant Taram, by author Gregory David Roberts. Apparently Apple bought the rights from Warner Brothers, who's making a film from it, and Joel Edgerton was going to be starring in it. And then they're going to develop a series of it now, and it tells the story of some person named Lynn, who's an escaped convict from a maximum security Australian prison. And it follows him as he disappears into different countries, from Bombay to India to other places.
Okay. That's pretty. That sounds interesting.
It could be, like a crime drama, world weary traveler kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something called Little Voices from J.J. Abrams and someone called Sarah Bareilles. It's a half-hour comedy drama series that is a love letter to the diverse musicality of New York, which explores the universal journey of finding your authentic voice in your early 20s. So maybe...
So copy everybody else and hope nobody notices?
Maybe a musical in New York, I guess? I don't know. Dickinson, starring Haley Seinfeld. A new comedy series about the early life of Emily Dickinson. It's a 19th century coming-of-age story They'll feature half-hour episodes and appears to be a comedic look into Dickinson's world, exploring the constraints of society, gender, and family from the perspective of a budding writer who doesn't fit into her own time. Okay. Oh, and
didn't she? Hold on a sec. I gotta.
Who?
Jesus.
Use your words.
Okay, no. For some reason I thought Emily Dickinson died really, really young, but she made it to 55.
Yeah.
So when they were like an early, I'm like, didn't she like put her head in an oven at like 25?
Jesus.
But I think I'm thinking of some other poet.
You're
No,
just
I'm
thinking of
serious.
some other girl who put her head in an oven and killed herself, huh?
There is a poet that did that. I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, an early life? What? So like 2 years before she killed herself?
It's it says a lot about you as a person that you immediately go to how they murdered themselves.
It's not murder, it's suicide.
Murder suicide.
Oh. Can't judge everybody.
Yeah. Now here's one that I've actually known about for quite a while because it was one of the first things Apple announced years ago. And I'm really excited for it. So they're doing, and this is gonna be like their Game of Thrones kind of thing. Like it's gonna be fucking big, especially with Apple's resources behind it. So it's Foundation, and it's from a book series that Isaac Asimov wrote, and it's basically it's a science fiction, big, huge series that's being written by David S. Goyer, who wrote Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and also Da Vinci's Demons, and he's also writing on Krypton right now. And it comes from the showrunner, Joss Friedman, who is working with James Cameron on the Avatar sequels, as well as the Terminator reboot. And basically, it's about like different spacefaring societies, and it's got like downloading bodies and robots and cyborgs and like political intrigue, and it's Isaac Asimov, so it's like it's legit science fiction.
Yeah.
I'm stoked because that sounds like some fucking A-Team, just people making it.
Yeah.
So like I'm excited for that one. Another series called Central Park, which already, I guess, has an order for 2 seasons, and it's a animated musical comedy. Okay. That's from the brainchild of Lauren Bouchard, who's the creator of Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
And it's going to have Josh Gad, Kristen Bell, Titus Burgess, Stanley Tucci, Leslie Odom, David Diggs, and Catherine Hahn. And it's about a family of caretakers who live and work in Central Park and have to end up saving the world or something.
Okay.
There's a M. Night Shyamalan thriller series. No title. M. Night Shyamalan thriller TV series. What else is there to know? Oh, shit. I guess it's going to have Rupert Grint in it.
Oh, sweet.
So, awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah.
TV series called Swagger, which is a drama series based on Kevin Durant, NBA superstar Kevin Durant. And it's going to be inspired by his youth and basketball experiences and his way to the top. And that's being produced by Ron Howard. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, shit. Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, which was a show that ran in the 80s. And it was like, they were like... it
was kind of like a Twilight Zone almost.
Yeah, but they were like, quote, amazing stories.
Yeah, more family friendly.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. And Brian Fuller is the showrunner. If you don't know Brian Fuller, he did Star Trek Voyager, Hannibal, the first season of American Gods, the first season of Star Trek Discovery. And I want to say, don't quote me on this, I also think he also worked in the early days on Heroes, if I'm not mistaken. And he also did. Oh yeah, no, never mind. I'm dumb. It's here. If I scroll down, he did Dead Like Me, Pushing Daisies, Hannibal, American Gods, Star Trek Discovery. So
That was a
sweet.
great show, Dead Like Me.
Oh yeah, super great show. Something called Little America, which has Kumail Nanjiani and his wife Emily, and they're producing a new half-hour anthology series about immigrants, and that's all we know. Did you ever see their movie, The Big Sick?
No.
Oh God, you need to like fucking go on Amazon Prime and watch that tonight. Super
Good?
fucking funny.
Okay.
So the hook with The Big Sick is, it's a true story of the dude Kumail Nanjiani, like how he started out as a comedian and how he met his wife, and it's their true story.
Okay.
And it's like a romantic, super dark comedy, but it's like fucking fantastic. Like it has some of the most wickedly savage jokes. Like I had like pause and like laugh it out. Like that's how much I was laughing. Like it's fucking great. Let's see here. It's a new sci-fi series from producer Ronald D. Moore. What the fuck? Why in the F?
The dance
What
party.
the fuck is happening? So my phone just randomly played a track from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Your phone is a terrible person. You should kill it.
It's having a hard time today.
It's had a hard time all week, dude.
You're right. It has. It's been dropping calls. Like I don't know what's been going on with it lately. So
dropping calls, not making calls.
very bizarre.
Like playing music, pausing
That's
shows.
true. It would do that. Like we would be listening to some shit in the van, and it would just pause, and then play like a different track. And it's like, why is it doing these things? I don't know. What was I saying? Another series from producer Ronald D. Moore. No title, no details. But I'm excited about that because Ronald D. Moore is fucking amazing at sci-fi. He got his start. He was the one who actually took over when Gene Roddenberry died and made Star Trek Next Generation great. He wrote several Star Trek films. He did the 2004 Battlestar Galactica. He does a show that my girlfriend likes that I've seen. It's good. It's just not my thing. What was I saying? That Outlander show that my girlfriend likes.
Oh, okay.
He does that as well. And then he's done a couple other series for sci-fi as well, but they didn't really last more than a season. It was virtuality, something like that. It was really cool.
Virtuosity?
Yeah, it's like virtuosity. It was like about a space crew, and they like are going on like a really long ass trip to like Mars or some shit, and they basically get like cabin fever and start going fucking crazy. It was really good. It was really good, but it lasted like 5 episodes, and then Sci-Fi canceled it. It was dumb. Yeah, it had like a really captivating like pilot episode because it was like really good, and it had like this like do-gooder like fucking captain of the vessel. But then it twists like right at the end of the first episode because he fucking throws himself out the airlock. And you're just like, oh shit,
Jesus, that's awesome.
I didn't see that coming. And so then this other dude who's like a little bit crazy has to take command, and it's like that's not good. That's not
great.
Good. But yeah, no, like I remember because I was very shocked. Like he was like sitting in his office and he's like listening to some music and he's like, everything is good. And then he goes to the airlock and he just fucking vents himself out to space. And it's just like, oh, what? Like, it's just fucking out of left field. It's great. So I'm excited for whatever he's gonna do there. Oh, I guess there's some reports that Joel Kinnaman has been cast in the series. Joel Kinnaman
Okay.
is pretty sure he was in Suicide Squad. He was the rebooted RoboCop, and he's the lead in Altered Carbon. And he was also in House of Cards. He's great. A like real life dramatic series, or not dramatic series, but a thing about looking at like fancy homes of like real life people and whatnot. And they like go around and look at like really crazy homes. So like a home thingy. A thing of homes.
So like MTV's Cribs, but not.
I mean, like, I don't know, like a thing, I guess. I don't know. I said it terribly. I got distracted. I apologize. There's a drama series coming from Damian Chazelle, who's the writer and director of La La Land and Whiplash, and did the Neil Armstrong biopic First Man, which I want to see, actually. Something called Vital Signs, which is being produced by Dr. Dre, and it's 6-episode miniseries. And it's an autobiographical tale of Dr. Dre's life. Okay, fine. And that's all that we know that they're working on and potentially going to announce.
That's quite a bit. But they really haven't produced. Apple hasn't produced much of original content, so I mean they're kind of late to the game.
I mean, but it sounds like they're holding a press event for it on the 25th to launch their streaming service, and sounds like they're going to launch with a ton of content. You know, because even if they have half of those like ready to go, that's like a lot of stuff, dude.
Oh, I totally agree.
So, yeah. Let's see. So there was that, and then probably the two big things this week or two bigger things, I should say, this week was there was a new trailer for Disney's Aladdin, and it shows a good deal of Will Smith's genie and how he's gonna be. Did you see that trailer?
No, I have
not.
not.
You did not. Okay, well then.
No, I was
trailer time.
No.
It's trailer time.
You're
gonna see it right now.
It didn't.
It's happening.
Fine, let me look it up.
I'll shoot you a link right now, man.
I just was so like not disappointed. It just was like
you got to see the new trailer, man. You got to see the new trailer.
Fucking Disney.
You got to see the new trailer, homie. I'm telling you, it has restored my faith.
Okay.
Shooting it over now. Try not to kill your Skype this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right. I'm scrubbing to 00.
Hold on. All right. 3, 2, 1.
You stumbled upon an opportunity. I can make you rich. Rich enough to impress a princess. What would I have to do? There's a cave of wonders. Bring me the lamp.
Great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3. I'm kidding. Watch this.
Can you make me a prince? There is a lot of gray area in make me a prince. I could just make you a prince. Oh, no. Y'all see my palace? You look like a prince on the outside, but I didn't change anything on the inside. Showtime. No, I'm in charge, okay? I say when it's time. Really? I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
Do you trust me? Don't you dare close your eyes. Hold your breath, it gets better. I'm like a shooting star. So let me share this whole new world.
Huh?
Okay, I like that that they kept the singing and dancing like from the cartoon. That was really cool to see. So yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, it looks
And I'm
good.
glad they went with the whole when he's not in genie form, he's just a person.
I also probably cut down on costs because
Oh yeah.
CGIing Will Smith and making it not look terrible is probably fucking money.
Yeah.
But I also like that, you know, the jokes were, rather than trying to emulate Robin Williams, like he's doing Will Smith jokes. Like I think that's
Agreed.
good. Like the actual, like you saw that was actually the Fresh Prince back there. I was like, I make you a prince.
Yeah. Hey man.
Yeah, exactly. And it also gave me good vibes for the you know, the Genie musical number, because like it was the same thing, but like it was tweaked for Will Smith's style without being like
Yeah,
specifically rappy. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, but it fits the better for the like the movie. I would think the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
So that that makes me a little bit happier for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to it. Like I think it'll probably be pretty good. Looks like the Aladdin dude's gonna be good. Jasmine's hot. Yeah.
She's been in quite a few things.
Yeah, she's the fucking Pink Power Ranger, dude.
Oh,
from
yes,
the fucking
you're right.
2017 reboot movie, which was
Yes.
dope.
Yes, it was.
And she's actually a British pop star, so like that's her singing. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's actually pretty badass.
Yeah, she was like I don't know, whatever the UK equivalent of Grammy is or whatever. Like, she's got a couple albums already.
Okay. Call it an Elton-y.
A what?
Elton John, an Elton-y.
Oh my god, that is the worst. You should hang yourself.
No.
That's terrible.
Fucking
And
Sir Elton
Elton-y.
John. Yeah, Sir Elton John should definitely have a fucking award named after
Oh my
him.
god, that's fucking
That flamer is an amazing artist and forever will be. Still love his fucking album Yellow Brick Road.
I mean, I don't disagree that the dude fucking brings it when it comes to musical stuff. You know about his biopic, right?
No.
Oh shit, really?
No, I did not know anything about that.
He has a biopic that he had a big hand in making. So you saw Kingsman 2, right?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
fuck, you didn't?
No, I'm not a huge fan of Channing Tatum.
Oh, who gives a fuck about him?
Like,
I'm talking about the rest of the
As
movie.
soon as I saw him in there, I was like, I can't take this movie.
But it's got Jeff Bridges.
Seriously.
Come on, Jeff Bridges.
Meh.
Okay, well, you saw the first Kingsman, right?
Yes, I saw the first one.
Okay, so you know the lead kid?
Yes.
So he's playing young Elton John.
Ooh,
And
okay.
the reason he's playing it, because, spoiler alert for Kingsman
He actually sings a
Kingsman
lot.
2, The Golden Circle, a huge plot revolves around kidnapping Elton John. And, like, it's actually
really?
Elton John.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But didn't that kid sing in the movie Sing? Wasn't he the gorilla?
I never saw Sing. So I don't know.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great.
Okay.
But I think he is. I'll have to look it up. Give me a sec. But yeah, I think he actually does sing.
Okay. I mean, maybe. Sure. But anyway, they have a lot of scenes in the Golden Circle, Kingsman Golden Circle. And so when it came for the biopic, he was like, I want this kid. He's playing young me. And so they're doing a biopic of his young years, from changing his name to
yeah, it is him.
Fucking getting super addicted to drugs, to becoming gay, and like all that sort of stuff. And it's called Rocket Man, and it's coming out this summer.
That sounds awesome.
It actually looks really good. Like, I mean, like I don't really like look into like Elton John's backstory or anything, but like I'll watch a movie about stuff like that, you know?
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, it looks good. So that's a thing. So Aladdin, looking better in your opinion?
Yes, much better.
Okay, very good. And then the bigger trailer this week was a brand new Avengers Endgame trailer, which we saw a couple days ago. And once again, I mean, we called it that there was going to be like another trailer, but we also kind of hoped that they weren't going to tip their hand at all, and they definitely did not tip their hand. Like, it shows some stuff.
No.
It shows some brand new Avengers suits, which we've already seen kind of leaked in like toys and Lego figurines and whatnot. But fucking
Rocket and War Machine.
Yeah, Rocket riding War Machine, and War Machine in a new like jacked up, like really aggressive,
almost like Hulkbuster type armor.
I'd
like a modified
like a
Hulkbuster.
mid, like somewhere between Infinity War sized War Machine, and then Hulkbuster, I'd say.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking big. And I told Tim this. I was like, you know what? That scene alone wants me, like, I want a movie or a TV show just about
Rocket Raccoon
like,
and War Machine.
Yeah, just the misadventures of Rocket Raccoon and War Machine.
Yeah, you have to imagine that when they meet, you know, he's just like, oh, this guy's got lots of guns. He's my favorite. Like,
yeah. He's got a fucking mechanical suit with tons of guns, and the ex-wife that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Super good. It also showed Ant-Man shrinking and bouncing around some stuff. It also showed it looked like there's gonna be quite a bit of a time jump in between Infinity War and when this movie starts, because it showed like grassed over like city streets and stuff, like post-apocalyptic kind of shit.
Well, and then you see it looks like they're flying into like the harbor in New York, I think Hudson Bay.
Yeah, but like,
and there's like there's a giant commune of like shanty boats built around the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and Ellis Island and all that.
Yeah, and it's like,
I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like a nuclear winter happened. Like, 'cause it's all gray and dingy and like super, like more overcast than that shithole usually is.
I mean, I've never been there, so I can't speak. You've been in New York, yeah?
Yeah.
You've been to Ellis Island?
No, I did not go to Ellis Island. It was, what was it? The ferry ride was really expensive. This was back in the late 90s. And it was really expensive and really long too.
I bet. I mean, it's out there a bit. He says, only knowing that from how far it takes to swing out there in the Spider-Man video games. Oh man, it's terrible. Yeah, so Endgame trailer. Doesn't show much. It doesn't really show much more than the previous trailer. Like, it gives you a little bit of a hint. It does show Tony back down on Earth in also a new suit along with the rest of the Avengers, and they have this white armor with red kind of glowing trim which everybody's pretty much speculating is like quantum realm suit ready. And everyone's got one. The only thing that's absent is it doesn't show a scene with Thor and Rocket, and there's no Hulk. So some theories that are running around right now is that maybe, main lower powered Avengers, like go in the quantum realm to maybe like find a time portal to fix shit, while Thor and Rocket and probably Captain Marvel and Hulk go fight Thanos to like keep him occupied or something. Just some theories being thrown around. Just some theories.
That could be interesting.
And then also the trailer, for those who haven't seen Captain Marvel, shows first interaction between Captain Marvel and Thor. And Thor basically like walks up to Captain Marvel, and she's just wearing like civilian clothes. And basically they Thor summons Stormbreaker, and it flies into his hand in front of her, and she like is looking at him, doesn't flinch. It flies into his hand. He's staring her down, and then she just kind of smirks like, "Bring it on," kind of thing. And then Thor's like, "Ah, I like this one." So that's the thing.
Although, in my personal opinion, Thor with Stormbreaker would absolutely destroy Captain Marvel.
I mean, I would think so, but having seen Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel is basically set up to be just straight OP in the film.
Yeah,
so,
she's basically Superman now.
No. I would say she's Super Saiyan. I would say that more than anything. But like glowing, shooting shit out of her fists, like, yeah, she's pretty OP in her own film. So we shall see. Let's see. I gotta get a drink here. My throat's running dry. God damn it.
Yeah, I've been sipping on the new cider I got last night. It's really fucking good.
I'm probably dry because I got a little dehydrated, got a little hammered last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
didn't do cider.
The ciders
I
I
went
bought.
straight for I got some Dad's root beer, and then one of my favorite mixes is Dad's root beer and Yukon Jack.
Oh, you were a terrible human being.
Yeah, it's just
you drink like a fucking 12-year-old.
Whatever.
No, yeah.
This is the person who puts LaCroix in everything.
Fucking LaCroix is awesome, dude. Such a great mixer. Some LaCroix and juice, and then fucking splash of vodka.
Some juice and some splash of vodka. Look at me. I'm drinking like I'm 12 too.
Hey, man. I don't have the time, strength, or the energy to like sit there and make a complicated ass cocktail. Like, even a fucking vodka tonic, it's just like, man, I don't feel like cutting up limes. I don't feel like spending the extra $2 on a decent tonic water.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our Discord posted this really awesome like what if picture of if the Avengers movie was made in the 90s and who they would cast as it, like in the 90s. And I think it's
I think I've seen
it's a really, really legit
is Brad Pitt
and
Thor?
90s accurate fucking statement for who would be who. So Avengers made in the 90s. This is the cast. Captain America, Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Winter Soldier, John Stamos.
Yes.
Falcon, Eddie Murphy. Scarlet Witch, Alicia Silverstone.
You know who I would like to see Scarlet Witch better?
What?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Ooh. Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer plays that kind of crazy, unhinged really well.
Hawkeye, Christian Slater.
Wait, Hawkeye. Oh yeah, I'm thinking Falcon.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. Ant-Man, Matthew Broderick. That makes sense. Tom Cruise, Iron Man. Which makes sense because he was going to be Iron Man before Robert Downey. Spider-Man, Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, I guess 90s DiCaprio, it makes sense.
Yeah.
This I approve of. Black Widow, Mila Jovovich.
Yes, she could do it now.
She like doesn't age. I swear.
No, she doesn't.
She's like Slovakian or Russian or something.
Yeah.
Whatever genes she's got in there, she does not age at all. Ever, apparently. Black Panther, this is a good one. Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Oh, dude. he would be an awesome he would be an awesome
Dude, he'd be an awesome
villain.
Oh, I literally was just about to say that. He'd be an awesome villain in like Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking great.
In his younger days, he would have been a great fucking Killmonger.
Ooh. Yeah, agreed. I don't necessarily agree with this one, but I don't have a better person to play him. Vision, played by Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
War Machine, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thor, Dolph Lundgren.
Yes. Totally.
Super good.
You know who would make a great Doctor Strange?
Who?
Especially Johnny Depp.
Ooh, yeah, that makes a lot.
Johnny Depp would make a great Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he'd still make a great Doctor Strange. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, but Johnny Depp would definitely be a very good Strange. I really fucking love this idea. I love this idea now, even. Hulk, David Duchovny.
Yeah. I totally
dry science guy, and then like him getting angry, like it really makes a lot of sense. As does this one. This one makes a lot of sense too. Doctor Strange, Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's great.
Keanu would also make a good Hulk.
Yeah,
I think, or Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
I think that he would lend a little bit more.
I still think he'd make a good Wolverine.
Keanu,
yeah,
really?
Why not?
I don't think he has the right body type.
No, I don't agree either. But he would fucking bring it as Wolverine. Let's be honest.
Yeah, if he spent the next year, but he's also getting right now he's getting up in age, and he's kind of at the point where he's picking and choosing the projects he wants to do.
Sure.
I don't think he'd ever.
This is awesome choice. Nick Fury, Keith David.
Oh, fuck yes.
Right? Who doesn't want that fucking sexy voice as fucking Nick Fury? Be fucking perfect.
But again, you know who else would make a great Nick Fury in the 90s?
What?
Samuel fucking Jackson. That's just.
Well, you get your wish because you see 90s Samuel Jackson in fucking Captain Marvel.
Or here's another good one, James Earl Jones. Even though he's always been on the bigger side.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones would have been a good Nick Fury.
Yeah. You're not wrong. This is a pretty good one because I mean, he's got the range for anything. Loki, Gary Oldman.
Oh, dude, totally.
That fucking conniving, I'm right, you're wrong, but I believe it thing.
Yeah, totally.
So good.
I mean, considering he lost his British accent from doing so many American movies, he had to actually go to a speech therapist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it was that he lost his British accent and had to go to a speech therapist to
I had no idea.
Relearn. Yeah,
I never
weird.
heard of that. Interesting. This one I approve of. I mean, I love Josh Brolin, but in 90s, Thanos, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Or my go-to boy, Arnold.
You just want Arnold to fucking be everybody.
Dude, you have to admit, he's not the best actor, but he has played so many different characters from like villain to like the goodest of good guys. Like
Okay.
the dude has literally done every single fucking role in the world.
It's true.
And
You're not wrong.
he does it, pretty fucking well, considering he started out as a fucking bodybuilder from Austria.
Yep, that's very true. All right, so what do you think about this one? 90s, thinking of 90s, Star-Lord, Brendan Fraser.
Was Brendan Fraser that big in the 90s though?
Yeah, the Mummy films. He did the, fucking the hell comedy with the devil and the wishes. The fuck was that called?
Bedazzled with Elizabeth Hurley. I thought that was 2000s, but yeah. I mean, he would make a good Star-Lord. I was just more the time frame of the 90s is where
I think it's just like
on.
It's covering the blanket of the decade. I think is what this thing is. Gamora, Halle Berry.
Oh, totally.
Nebula, Demi Moore.
Yeah, she's got that weird psychotic streak in her sometimes.
And then I love this one. Rocket Raccoon, Joe Pesci.
No, man, Danny DeVito.
Oh God,
Danny DeVito would be a much better fucking Rocket.
I don't know. Like I could see both. I could totally see both.
Yeah, you're right.
This one's got your boy as Drax, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that one.
But and also if you think about it, like him being Drax and then like the deadpan, like nothing goes over my head, I would catch it. Like fucking Schwarzenegger, nothing goes over my head, I would catch it. Like or whatever. That was a terrible accent.
You go hang yourself with that accent.
And then it's got Mantis as Winona Ryder.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like sure, yeah, I guess why not.
But what about Spider-Man?
Is Leo DiCaprio?
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio. Yeah. I agree with that.
That's a pretty good fan casting for the 90s.
I mean, aside from Rocket, who I really think
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito would be great.
Well, there's one they're missing here though. Who would play Groot in the 90s? So you got to imagine it's probably fucking somebody in a bodysuit. Sylvester Stallone.
Oh God! Right? Yeah, but then they would have to have like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the bodysuit.
Oh man.
Jesus,
that's terrible.
I am Groot.
Let's see. Did they miss anybody on this list? Let's see. Black Panther. I don't think so.
No, I mean it's a pretty solid fucking list.
Yeah. I would watch that. It's just like it probably would have been awesome with the actors, but like all the costumes would have been terrible. Like they would have been just fucking heavy rubber.
Not even costumes. The visual effects.
Oh, gosh.
You know who I think would make a really good Star-Lord actually? Bruce Willis.
Oh. Yeah.
Really great
but
comedian.
Like I loved Bruce Willis in like fucking everything though. Like that dude does not act bad even if the movie's bad. Like he's fucking great. Like always.
Yeah, he's done some really weird out there movies that were just like really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But no, I think Bruce Willis would have the comedy and then the actual like action chops to like do the stunts or like the choreograph.
I mean, in the 90s, he would have been busy with fucking Diehards and fucking Fifth Element, though.
But still.
But no.
Still, he would have made a great Star-Lord.
I feel you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's entertainment. So let's flip over to our final one here.
Oh, wait. We're not.
What?
No. Okay, so I watched a couple different movies this week and shows.
Okay.
On Netflix. So Christopher Robin just came out on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, and you were gonna have a whole thing about that.
Not a whole thing, but I'm like, I don't know why that movie was so shit on. Like, you were telling me that like a bunch of articles were like, "Oh, he's a wife beater. It's a terrible Disney." Like no, it was really, really good. It was not a kids movie at all. It was meant for people like me and Tim and probably even older generations.
Okay.
Of Pooh fans. And
Winnie the Pooh fans. I want to clarify right now before it gets out of hand.
The Pooh. We like Pooh.
To eat the Pooh.
The Pooh. Tastes so good.
God, now I'm thinking of the fucking Great Mighty Pooh from fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. And the song he does.
Little tickle tack nut. Sweet corn is the only thing that makes it through my rear. Suck on my chocolate starfish. It's stupid how many of those lines I remember.
It was a great game.
Super great game. Awesome. Needs like a third reboot of that game.
It does.
Yeah. Get on it, Rare.
But it was I remember when it like the first few trailers came out and people were super hyped about it. And then it just like faded into like black.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I don't know why it was like not more well received, but it was really good and I really enjoyed it. Watched a new Idris Elba show, which was a Netflix original that he helped create called Turn Up Charlie. And it was a really nice departure from his usual roles of like real serious, like how Luther was, and some of his other really well-known shows and movies. It was just a nice, like, it was a good show. Like I ran through the entire show this morning on Netflix, and then I watched The Russian Doll.
Yeah. Now I watched the first episode, both myself and Jessica, and like I like the chick because she's from Orange Is the New Black, and I like the like kind of grungy, vibrant color art style of wherever the hell they were filming. But I just like her searching for her cat and like always dying. Like don't get me wrong, I love the whole Groundhog Day thing, but like I just couldn't. Like by the end of the first episode, I was like, I don't care about this show. And so I didn't continue further, but you watched the whole thing. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, so I watched it over the course of like 3 days, and I think it's definitely worth to watch. It's definitely kind of a time investment if you're, I don't know, like it's kind of a slow burn because the whole dying thing does get boring.
Yeah.
But it's interesting in my opinion. I really liked it.
Okay. Well, fair enough. You suggest people to stick with it?
Yeah, if they're finding it really slow, I would definitely stick with it.
I mean, and I guess the other thing is, the episodes are only a half hour, and I think there's 12 of them. So to get quote unquote invested, you'd only spend 6 hours, I guess.
Pretty much.
So yeah. Let's see. I'm caught up on Discovery. But you're not caught up on Discovery, so I guess we can't talk about it.
No. I mean, we can talk about it. I'm still gonna watch it. Like spoilers don't affect me the way they affect other people.
I know, but I care. I care, man. I care about spoilers. Goddammit. We've been introduced to a new Spock, or at least a new actor playing Spock in Star Trek Discovery. And I was really...
I thought you said you weren't going to spoil it, asshole.
You fucking knew Spock was fucking in it from the fucking trailer, you fucking son of a bitch. You fucking goddamn pot licker. So we have a new actor playing, I guess, fucking 30 years before Star Trek, the original series, Spock. And it's... it's different. Like, so the new actor, like, he looks the part. Like, he looks like a you know, like a young Spock, and he's tall and he's got the pointy ears and stuff. The actor's voice is like really fucking deep, and like he's got a fucking deep ass booming voice, which is definitely odd, you know, when there's like a bunch of people being like, oh, it's Spock and stuff. And so, like, you know, but I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just, you know, it's a different actor, and like his physical attributes, like he just has a fucking deep ass voice. I would say commanding would be the right word, and so far, he's mostly Spock. Like, there's some times where he has some lines, and I'm just like, I don't think Spock would have said that. And maybe I'm being a little fucking Trekkie fanboy Reddit message board about it, but you know, it's pretty good. The storyline looks like it's finally coming to a head. We're 10 episodes in, and it looks like we're finally getting to kind of what the central mystery is starting to be finally revealed of what the fuck the season's about. I am thoroughly enjoying Star Trek Discovery as always, and as is Jessica, even though she doesn't like Star Trek, but she likes Discovery, so therefore I win.
Well, I can't. I you know what? I can't take Jessica's liking of Star Wars anymore, because you revealed to me that she hasn't even watched any of the Clone Wars or Rebels.
Yep.
And I think Clone Wars is better than all three movies put together.
The original trilogy, original trilogy,
the prequel,
prequel trilogy,
the prequel trilogy.
Okay,
just amazing story, amazing like animation, like just. I'm really, really happy that after the great purge of Star Wars, that Clone Wars survived.
Oh, agreed. It would have sucked if they canned it.
I would have, yeah.
And it's coming back
I would have
yet
been
again.
really upset. Yes, I would have been really upset if Clone Wars had been a part of the Great Purge.
Yeah.
So, it just it's hard for me to take Jessica's love of Star Wars serious anymore.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm sure she'd be hella mad right now if she heard us talking about it.
Well, then maybe she should fucking watch Clone Wars and Rebels, because Rebels is also amazing.
Rebels is also amazing. Let's see. Trying to think. I don't think I watched anything else this week. It's mostly just been a lot of BoJack Horseman, and watching Rick and Morty with you, and all that stuff. Yeah, I definitely like BoJack Horseman. But I feel like the episodes that drive me absolutely crazy, at least so far in season 2, are outweighing the episodes that I really like. Like, we had like those 2 episodes of fucking Mr. Goddamn Peanut Butter, who I want to die in a fucking fire. And then like that one about the fucking cat lady who I could give a shit about. And it's like, okay, the show's called BoJack Horseman. Go back to BoJack Horseman. Because like all Will Arnett's stuff is fucking hilarious. Some of the ancillary characters, like, I don't care about. Like, I like the fucking journalist chick, you know, and I like the turtle. And sometimes Aaron Paul's plotline is all right. I feel like he's getting progressively dumber as the seasons have gone on, which I'm not really a fan of. But
yeah, I mean, I think those episodes that you hate just kind of, I think they just add little bits of layers to each character.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Princess Carolyn and Mr. Peanut Butter and Todd. So I mean, they're not like major plot points to the overall arc, but I think they do add something.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to video games then. So video game stuff. What you been playing, Brock?
So I have been playing Diablo 3 still.
Okay, and how's that going?
I really like it. It is a really decent slash looter, slashing looter, slashing loot, whatever they call
Slashing
them.
looter.
Yeah.
Slashing looterhausen.
Yeah. One of my biggest complaints about it is that you can't legitimately build your character stats. Like, you just pick your class and then you have your stats, and then you buff your stats with your gear
Mhm.
and some kind of, like, some ancillary skills that are pretty cool. But I'm a huge RPG fan, so I love building characters and like tweaking them here and there, or adding or subtracting something, and not having that option it's a little bit of a downer, but overall the game is still really good.
Okay. I jumped into a brand new video game. I don't think I was playing it last podcast we were recording.
No.
But I mentioned it a little bit in our pre-show, which is really our after show. And son of a bitch. Well, that son of a bitch was because of the game I was playing. I just died. So I decided to jump feet first into a game that I knew very little about. Me and Jessica. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. Whatever. Rolling it all into one. Me and Jessica watched Mortal Engines last weekend on Sunday. As our Sunday movie. Mortal Engines from producer Peter Jackson. And based on some books about like cities and post-apocalyptic, and for some reason like cities like London like roll around the world eating other cities. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Looks cool as balls though. like just little fucking people, little Bo Peep's house getting fucking eaten up by fucking London. That's pretty cool. But we watched this movie and it reminded me very much of like an anime. Like it was really kind of like high concept, like an anime, something you might only see in an anime instead of a live action. Moving buildings and shit, and buildings eating other buildings and stuff like that. And like robots and people's origins and people related to other people and like lost history and stuff. Felt very anime or JRPG to me. And so I finished that film, which is a pretty decent film. I know it completely tanked in the box office, but I liked it. It was good. It's worth a watch. But like it left me with this like hunger for like, man, I want like a really rich, high concept, maybe a little bit political drama-y like JRPG. And so I was like looking around, and I had heard that Final Fantasy 12 was coming to Switch, and it's like the remastered ultimate version or whatever the hell. And a lot of my Final Fantasy fans are like, I never played 12, first of all, but a lot of them were like, it's the best Final Fantasy. Nobody sleep on it. It's great. Don't believe anybody. And I was like, okay. And I was like looking at it, I watched video reviews and stuff, and I was like, okay, it seems like something I could get into, and it's Final Fantasy, so it can't be bad. Like I haven't played like a completely terrible Final Fantasy ever. They're at the very least like pretty good, and I played, God, probably played at least, I don't know. I played a lot of the Final Fantasies. I don't know an exact number because lots of like mini sequels and half sequels and stuff. But anyway, like I went to go get it on the Switch, and because like I was starting to get psyched about it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna dive into Final Fantasy 12. Hell yeah, it's gonna be my little, because a lot of people listen to our show know I have like a little arm, and I play my Switch in bed before I fall asleep. So like having a good RPG with like some story, it's like reading a novel before going to bed,
Yeah.
And so I went to go buy it on Switch, and fucking. I had a pre-order thing because it's not out till like fucking April 26th. And I was like, God damn it. And so I was like, well, is there any other JRPGs that are like really good on the Switch? And some other friends had recommended to me Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And so watched video reviews for that. It looked kind of fun. It had a lot of critical acclaim. And now I am level 19 into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which so far is a really fantastic JRPG exclusive to Switch. It's kind of hard to describe as a JRPG. Like, so first of all, it's very high concept. So the world has like it has like a series of giant like creatures that are shaped like bears and deers and stuff. And like all of society or human society like lives on the backs of like these fucking creatures that are like roaming around the world, that they call Titans. And so basically like if you're to think like Hyrule Field in like Legend of Zelda, but on top of like a giant like kind of stone golem but living creature, like giant, like from Shadow of the Colossus or something like that. And like the whole society, like towns and cities and countries, like lives on like the back and armpits and butts of these creatures. I know it sounds weird, armpits and butts and stuff. Like I am literally literally my mission objective right now is to head towards the butt of what the fuck is this thing called, of Gormott, which is this deer antelope looking thing that I'm, I guess, walking my way down towards the butt of. Like it's literally my objective. Like and so you know, that's really crazy, like visually, like you're moving and you're like wandering through like a forest, but then like you see a mountain move because it's the fucking neck of this giant fucking thing that you're just a fucking speck on. So visually it looks like really wild and cool, which is exactly what I wanted in a JRPG. And like so but then like the game itself is kind of like, gosh, it's kind of hard to describe because it's very Japanese anime, and like there's like a lot of weird shit. Like there's these people called drivers, and they have to have like affinity to bond with blades, which are actual like swords and shit, but they're also sentient like human creatures, and they like bond with you like fucking Pokemon or some shit. And you can like have multiples with you like fucking Pokemon, and like yeah, so you're like gathering blades and they like fight in your party, but they like attack for you with AI that you like program, but then your character also attacks. And you also have a party of 3 with like 3 other like people, but they are also drivers who have blades, which are like sentient weapon Pokemon. Yeah. That kind of game.
Well, when you told me about it, it sounded really interesting. And I mean, if I had gotten a Switch, I probably would have picked it up this Friday and been playing it all weekend.
Oh yeah, I would totally recommend this to you when you get a Switch. I'd recommend it to anybody who gets a Switch. It took about, I'll be honest, it took about 6 hours to get going. Like compared to like some games where it's just like, here's all of the game systems at once, tutorial over, go swim in the deep end. It's really gradual. Like it starts you off real slow. It's like, here's the basics of combat, and you feel like really limited, and like combat feels kind of dumb in the beginning. And then you like go someplace else and like, oh, here's this other thing you can do in the combat. Oh, here's this other thing, you know, and it goes from like press right trigger to lock on an enemy, move your character in, your character autos attacks. Good job, you completed battle tutorial. To Lock onto that enemy, press Y at this exact moment in time when like the left party character has charged their thingamajiggy after they've pulled out their sentient blade weapon when it's charged with the dealimabobber. Like, it's extremely layered. But they introduce you it really gradually. So that's good if that's like a back off for people of like, man, that sucks when you like get thrown into the deep end. And they don't really like teach you how to do their stuff. I think the story is extremely well done in the game. There are, I'll tell you right now, it's extremely cutscene heavy, like Metal Gear Solid cutscene heavy. Like I went to go fight a boss, and it's like, okay, cutscene before the boss. Okay, cool. Loading. All right, we're gonna fight the boss. Nope, that's another cutscene. Okay, they're still talking. Oh, good. They're arguing. Oh, good. We're gonna fight the boss. Okay. Nope. Loading another cutscene. Okay. All right. Okay, now we're fighting the boss. Okay, cool. Now we're done fighting the boss. Okay, another cutscene. Okay, good. All right, cool. They're running away from the boss area thing. Okay, cool. Oh, another cutscene. Oh, another cutscene. So I would say prepare for that.
Okay.
A lot of cutscene,
Well,
but it's like it's
I'm a fan of Metal Gear Solid. So,
yeah,
and even God, what was the one that we played on PlayStation 3? Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the
I
Patriots.
liked it.
Yeah, famously has one of the longest cutscenes in all of video gaming. It's like an hour and a half long.
Not that long.
Yeah,
it's like 25 minutes.
No, the fucking end cutscene
is
an hour and a half long, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
I forgot
ridiculous.
about that.
To be fair, is the end of the saga, quote unquote, at that point in time. Because obviously it had Metal Gear Solid 5, which ironically is very light on cutscenes, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's extremely good. It's wild. The art style is good. The voice acting is good, but I'll say this, it's very different. Like, don't go into it expecting traditional voice acting, because everybody is Scottish, Irish, British, German. Like, everybody has, like, a European accent in this one. And I'll tell you right now, some of them are real good, like the main characters, and some of them, like the townspeople, you want to gouge their fucking eyes out, because it's clearly some fucking Californian is like, can you do a European accent? And like, oh, sure, good day, mother, mate, yep. You know, and it's like, oh, stop. just don't try. But yeah, no, I'm having a blast with the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah. And oh yeah, I said crap right before we started talking about it, because I found out that at least once you get to this point, like you can basically like lock onto an enemy and like the whole game like auto battles for you, which is really helpful for grinding. Which you do in JRPGs, get over it. But like I was on a tree, like a big tree branch near the butt of this continent titan that I'm on, and like I was fighting this giant like pterodactyl bird, and they were like fighting them, and I was talking, and then the AI walked my character off the fucking branch and killed himself. And then I had to restart.
That's awesome.
Which sucks, because I'd been battling for like 20 minutes at that point. So watch your auto battlers if you're gonna do that on a tree branch, just saying. In terms of video game news, Turtle Rock Studios, who you might be familiar from the Left 4 Dead franchise with Valve, who later went on to make Evolve, a criminally underrated, underplayed, and underpurchased awesome multiplayer versus giant monster game, announces that they are back to make the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, not with Valve, but they have announced Back for Blood. And it's Left 4 Dead 3, basically. Like, it's Left 4 Dead 3 in all but name. So that's coming.
I mean, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're pretty decently far along in development. They have a partnership with Warner Brothers Interactive, so good, nice, healthy studio. or healthy
Mhm.
publisher, I should say. And they basically say that it's designed as a ground up as an original premium title that marries the best of what made the co-op zombie shooter so successful with new features and state-of-the-art technology. So they say we get to return to a genre that was born in our studio with over 10 years of additional experience and zombie ideas racked up in our brains. They say you'll be able to shoot up a lot of zombies like Left 4 Dead, but there'll be a whole bunch of new stuff that will make it unique as well. And they
Yeah.
said it's confirmed for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. With
Sweet.
other platforms weren't out of the question noted as well. Probably talking about Switch.
Yeah.
And then they said it'll feature a campaign, a direct PvP component as well, and absolutely no battle royale mode.
Nice. Smart.
Yeah, and then they said that they know that it's got to stand on its own to be good. So, no release date. But I would imagine if they're announcing it now, it's probably something they'll maybe show off at E3, and maybe if they're smart, they'll launch it in summer when it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
You know,
it would definitely lend to the lull that the summer seems to have for video games and kind of entertainment in general.
Yeah, I mean, October is ideal for like horror type games like that, but October is also usually fucking loaded up with fucking games. It's usually when all the Call of Duties and the Battlefields and like if there's a new Halo this year, it might be coming out then, or an Assassin's Creed, or who knows what Nintendo's got up their sleeves this year. Like, it's usually a fucking heavy ass month. So, I hope for their sake, because fucking Evolve did not do good, despite the fact that I remember it having an amazing like marketing campaign. Like, I remember being at PAX and like you walked into the show floor room and you realize you're walking underneath one of the giant creatures that's like on the box cover, and it's like sick as fuck. And it's like, man, this game was great. And then I played the game, but nobody else played it with me. So, yeah, that happened. Sucks. And then of super cool note, which I know is rather divisive amongst our Discord for people who are still feel burned by it from 2016. No Man's Sky Beyond was announced. And they have said that as opposed to 3 large but smaller updates, they are rolling all 3 updates that they were going to do over the course of spring and summer into one huge update that's going to launch later in summer. They've just said that it's coming summer 2019. And they've said that it's basically got 3 major components, but they're only lightly talking about the first component, which is No Man's Sky Online, which they say, quote, No Man's Sky Online includes a radical new social and multiplayer experience, which empowers players everywhere in the universe to meet and play together. Whilst this brings people together like never before and has many recognizable online elements, we don't consider No Man's Sky to be an MMO. It won't require a subscription, won't contain microtransactions, and will be free for all existing players.
Damn.
These changes are an answer to how we've seen people playing since the release of No Man's Sky Next last summer, and it is something we've dreamed for a long time. We'll talk about each component when we can be precise on the release dates, and look forward to sharing more in the coming weeks. Beyond will be our most ambitious chapter so far, and something we've been working ridiculously hard on. We'll continue to support No Man's Sky in this way for the foreseeable future. I think basically the read between the lines there is, fuck y'all, more free content, even though it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
They say it's unexpected but so rewarding to see many accolades and nominations for No Man's Sky as best ongoing or most evolved this year. To some, No Man's Sky Next may have felt like a natural endpoint for our journey, but for us, it was just another step on a longer voyage. And then there was a teaser trailer. It was like 30 seconds, and it showed some weird ass looking sci-fi shit, which is kind of par for the course for No Man's Sky. And And then some people have speculated, because they've kind of hinted at like some timeline stuff. If you've played the No Man's Sky stories lately, that maybe you might go back in time to like see some of the civilizations before they got destroyed, which would be dope as fuck. Or forward in time, whatever. Sure, why not? We've already got portals, alien civilizations, crazy fucking things, alien AIs, depths of subnautical discovery, crazy planets, ring worlds, all that sort of stuff. So sure, why not? Just a speculation. That's my thought. What do you think about this? Having been someone who definitely felt slighted by the original launch, but have definitely, I think you played quite a bit of it since last summer, right?
Yeah, I have. It made me fucking ecstatic. Like, it was amazing to see this dead game come back to life and get supported by their studio and bring it back from the brink, in my opinion. So it makes me happy that I didn't waste my money on my special edition hardcover, all like, and waited for so long with my pre-order too, just to, it's really awesome. And it's cool that they're still supporting it and not just adding random content. Like, they're actually trying to evolve the game and make it different and more enjoyable and more accessible to more and more people.
Yeah, I mean, everything that they have done since 2016 has pushed the game, both from my viewpoint to what was originally promised and beyond, no pun intended, beyond what the original expectations were. I mean, we never expected base building. We never expected managing an entire fucking armada fleet. We never expected crazy subnautical discoveries and stuff like that under the ocean. At least certainly I didn't, even in the original No Man's Sky trailers, and they've exceeded all of that. And so if they're planning more of it being more co-op-y, because with No Man's Sky Next, they launched co-op missions and co-op fleets and co-op this and co-op that and all that sort of stuff. And so if they're just calling it No Man's Sky Online, I'm thinking they're probably... I'm thinking there's probably going to be some RPG elements. I'm thinking we're probably going to get, like, levels. Because, like, they have ranks of, like, guns and abilities and stuff, but they're crafted, they're earned. So I'm thinking we're probably going to see things like fucking character levels and, like, maybe special abilities and stuff like that. And probably more hostile creatures would be my guess. And probably, he said many familiar online elements. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some stuff that was like a light version of some of the stuff that they have in Anthem and Destiny and World of Warcraft and stuff like that.
Well, it'd be interesting to see the not the arbiters. What are they called? The architects? Those little floating bots that get pissed off if you harvest a planet.
Oh, the Sentinels? Yeah.
Yeah, Sentinels. Seeing them just be outright fucking just like kill monsters instead of like, oh, hey, don't blow that rock up.
I mean, I don't think you've landed on the right planet then, because they can be quick kill monsters on some of the planets, man.
Yeah, no, I have, where it's like the whole planet is considered protected or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and you fucking set foot on the rock and then fucking like 6 walkers are there being like, hey, you die now. So, but
I remember when it first came out, I would just specifically go to do that, try to get my level up to so that I could try to face as many as I could just for fun.
Yeah, that's the days. It's funny though, because even from the original, like all those Sentinels, like their designs and the way they behave has completely changed since launch. Because like before they were just like walkers and they were fucking like OP, and now they have like parts that you can fucking break off of them and like all kinds of crazy shit.
Different materials that some of them provide. So, like they're pretty cool.
So, not to beat a dead, resuscitated, alive BoJack Horseman horse here. But yeah, No Man's Sky is great. Everybody should check it out. Because it's not anything like it used to be.
No, not by
Yeah.
any means.
And if you liked it from the beginning, it's even better by far. So there you go. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. You got anything else to talk about, man?
No, not really.
Sweet. Well, yeah, that's it. That's the show. That's the show, folks. Show's over. Go home. I'm author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K. Trotter, signing off for this week in this episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. Subscribe, leave us a review wherever you subscribe to this podcast. Check out my book, The Citadel Arrival, by my other name, author Tim K. Trotter. Available right now on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Buy a book, support this show, even if you don't read, because I do not have a Patreon. So it is the only way to support the show besides being a subscriber and listening and being involved. And it'd be greatly appreciated. I feel like there's something else. Forgot what it was. I don't know what it is. I'm done.
No.
I'm done. Sign off.
Okay. And and this is Brock. And take it easy peasy.
Oh my god, you fucking bastard. I thought you weren't going to remember.
No, I always remember.
Ugh, easy fucking pizza. God damn. Never going to fucking live that down.
Nope.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel Arrival is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel Arrival by author Tim K. Trotter, available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Fucking
Not
my
much.
freezer or my box, my little mini fridge. It's got like a hole in the center. It's gonna like stay open because it like recirculates the thing, and there's like a fucking ice ball covering it. So I got the
Nice.
fucking thing open and the shit out of there, and I'm trying to melt it, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
You should just get a fucking ice pick, man. Pop it out.
I mean, yeah, I'll just wait for it to melt. I'll just clean the fridge out anyway. It's not a big deal. Not the end of the world. What are you playing?
It is Diablo.
Nice.
Yeah. Fucking figured some simple, no thinking hack and slash.
Yeah, I just found out that there's basically a completely full auto mode in the Xenoblade game.
Really?
Yeah, so I just have to like hit R on the enemy, like basically target lock, and then like both my main character and everybody else launches completely auto. And And I think
That's
the AI is
weird
better.
and kind
I
of
think
cool.
the AI is better than me. Like, it was doing some weird power-up moves, which I'm pretty sure they explained how to do to me, but I forgot how to do. And I was like, oh, well, good job. Go game. Go.
That kind of takes the fun out of it.
I mean, it does and it doesn't, because, like, on the one hand, like, I'm just grinding right now. So it's like, I don't have to, you know, like, I'm sitting at the entrance to a cave. And, like, my dude is level 17, and there's this 25 bat, basically, hanging on the ceiling. And if I inch my way, I can target him with R, and I can throw a rock to initiate combat, and, like, lure him. Like, there's a swarm of bats. There's, like, 8 bats. And if I throw a rock, I can lure him out of the cave, so it's just my whole team against that one level 24 bat. And then I can fucking farm him. Mwahaha. Classic. Oh god, no!
Very
no!
nice.
No! Sorry.
Looks like he got you.
No. I pulled out my weapon, and the fucking my dude started running into the cave automatically, and I was like, no, I didn't want that.
Like, fuck
They're
you,
like, I'm gonna
auto.
like my dudes were like, we're gonna kill all the bats at once. I like attacked a beehive, and it spawned like fucking 40 bees that were level 20. I died really fast.
Shit.
And then I was like out in this plain area, and I was beating up on this gorilla monkey thing, and he was like level 10. I was like, yeah, kill him. And then around a corner, this like fucking King Kong size level 82 comes around, one shots my party back to the fucking loading screen. Like, I was like,
just fucking puts work on you.
I mean, it wasn't even work. Like, he just looked at me and we all died.
Oh, shit.
I was like, 82. That's really high. So
that's awesome.
Still getting a feel for things.
Watched a really good show this morning called Turn Up Charlie.
Turn Up Charlie.
It's got Idris Elba in it.
Oh, no
and
shit.
It's like, it's so fucking different from his usual roles.
Is it like comedy
It
or
was
something?
really good.
I've never really seen Idris do comedy.
It's not real. It's not traditional comedy. It's kind of like sick British humor comedy.
I mean,
I guess would be the best way to put it.
Too.
But really good, and he helped create it too.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original, surprisingly.
Interesting.
So, I mean, he's the only face that I recognize, both because there's a couple American actors.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's the only face I recognize in there at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think this is like maybe was his little passion project that Netflix decided to pick up. But it was really good.
Sweet.
You should check it out.
My party engaged the swarm of bats. It's me
Yeah,
and like 425 bats. Oh shit, my party member's down.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, this is not good. Run
I'm
away.
in a giant nest of
Run
fucking
away.
fallen bloodhounds.
Run away, you fuck! Why can't I move? I'm like frozen? Oh shit, they're freeze bats! That's not good! Run! Disengage battle! Go, 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 go. Oh, my whole party member's down. Down 100 health. Run, you fuck! Oh, good, I ran away. Whew. Ah, that would have been bad.
Brutal.
Yeah, and it's like the XP system is like really odd. Like, it basically has like 2 tiers. So like so there's a like, you get bonus XP for like stacking multiple encounters on top of each other. And then you only get that if you can make it back to town and then sleep at an inn.
Oh, that's super weird.
Well,
interesting.
They had a system like that in Final Fantasy 15, which I really liked. But it was like, you only leveled up and got your experience if you like did the quests and then made it to a campsite or an inn. This is like, you still level up, but you'll get like 2 XP or 2 times XP or whatever if you make it to an inn. And like,
I gotcha.
The way the world is set up, it's kind of sketchy on if you're gonna make it to an inn or not. Like, I'd been like farming some like low level creatures and killing like these weird elk looking tree root unicorn things. And then, like, out of nowhere, you know, that like level 82 gorilla just fucking ran around a corner and just fucking murked
Destroyed
me.
you.
And so, like, I just like lost all that XP basically. And I was like, oh
Damn.
man. So it's like it's you know, you can level up like regularly, like snail mail, or you can like, you know, see how long you can go, and then if you can make it back, you get extra, you know, kind of thing.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so it's, you know, risk reward. So, all right, let's get into the show. Let's see here. All right. Let's see.
Jesus, fucking allergies are starting to kick in.
Oh yeah, for what?
Just like the normal blooms, like with the, you know how wet it was, and then it's like it started heating up really quick.
Okay.
Like, I get allergies really bad at
Springtime?
the beginning of spring, and then like kind of like in the lull of summer when we get that kind of weird wet spell through July, and then it like heats it back up again.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I've always had allergies, just not terrible allergies.
Did not know that, actually. Or maybe I did, and maybe it's just like, I don't know. I don't remember it. Let's put it that way.
It's really not like an interesting conversation.
Super interesting. How's your sniffle? Does it drip like 0.1 meters faster the right nostril? Like, it's so dumb.
It is.
Okay.
And you are.
Yeah, well, classic. All right. Cut